The tale of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition begins with two all-powerful gods, the Mechonis and the Bionis, indulging in a never-ending clash. The duel concludes with both of their swords piercing each other, effectively connecting themselves together. As generations pass, beings would eventually surface on the Mechonis in the form of Mechon, machines constantly at warfare with the biological spawn of the Bionis, the Homs. Evolution across the two races naturally ensued, and with that, resentment between them would arise as well. Fast forward a few centuries to a Homs named Shulk, an 18-year-old male who allocates his time towards staying indoors and tinkering with machinery. As events in the story unfold, he takes hold of the Monado, the same blade that the legendary hero Dunban had used to fend off invading Mechon at Sword Valley a year prior. The Monado is the only weapon capable of damaging Mechon armor, and it also grants Shulk the ability to see into the future. With this newfound power, Shulk vows to end the war between the Homs of the Bionis and the Mechon of the Mechonis, ultimately ensuring universal peace. The narrative of this game always appealed to me. It managed to balance elements of foreshadowing, romance, vengeance, and insightful themes in ways that didn't end up as generic or lacking. Anytime I felt that I could easily predict what would happen next, the narrative would take a sudden twist, surprising me at every turn. It seems like I could never truly relax whenever a major cutscene played out, as I was always at the edge of my seat, wondering what decisions Shulk would make, how he would attempt to change the future, and what consequences his actions would result in, if any. Every character in this game has been exposed to traumatizing events, but despite it all, they unite through their shared goal of fighting to ensure peace between the Homs and the Mechon. I admire everyone in this game because of their ability to stay strong within the face of adversity, especially Shulk and Melia, who I felt were the most developed and continue to grow on me through Future Connected, an epilogue that takes place 1 year after the events of the main game. Admittedly, this bonus story doesn't have the same captivating depth in writing as the main story, and well, it includes additional annoying characters, but it's still refreshing to see some extra growing chemistry between Shulk and Melia, who I heavily resonated with. It's true that I genuinely adore Xenoblade's cast, but I would have liked for Riki to have more of a role in the story because he barely speaks, has no significant development, and feels more like an add-on if anything. Riki joins because he's the hero pawn, which isn't as genuine of an incentive to tag along as the other stronger characters with arcs centralized around concepts of revenge and internal confliction. I understand that he's supposed to be a comic relief character and his out-of-place comments can be pretty funny, but Ryan already better fulfills that role while also being a relevant figure in the narrative with a powerful friendship dynamic with Shulk.
Shulk, you're creeping this lady out.
Shut up, Ryan.
This large one is far worse.
And although I heavily enjoy the narrative throughout my entire playthrough, I am a bit mixed when it comes to the voice acting in certain events. There were scenes where the delivery of certain lines genuinely had me in tears,
I'll kill you!
But there were also scenes where characters lacked that same passion in voice acting.
No! I must go to the palace. I must stop him. I will go to the audience chamber.
Wait, Melia. We're coming too.
In addition to that, some of the models during cutscenes move in robotic fashions that are pretty jarring to look at. On a side note, Engage the Enemy is an amazing song that really sets the mood for emotional moments, but as the game transitions from cutscene to boss fight, it's scrapped in favor of the boss theme. It's a shame that this happens because for me, that shift in music leads to a shift in mood, partially killing some of the impact cutscenes had on me. The inconsistent voice acting, robotic models, and personal issues with the music are parts of Xenoblade that I feel are worth noting, but they pale in comparison to the grandiose nature of the narrative and its generally well-written characters. Xenoblade Chronicles is filled to the brim with a variety of beautiful locations just begging to be uncovered. Biomes are uniquely crafted with multiple layers of depth to them, and when it comes to the life inhabiting these environments, biological diversity is at its peak. What appears in the wild fluctuates depending on the time of day, which you can alter at will. These smooth day-to-night transitions keep the game feeling authentic and lived in, for lack of better wording. Formidable foes naturally roam the worlds of which you tread, reacting differently depending on its species or level. Aggressive monsters will initiate a fight on sight, some might react to an attack you set off, and others might go about their business not caring who you are. Should you come across a monster of a much higher level, rest be assured that fleeing is indeed a valid tactic. However, don't let that fear of defeat discourage you from uncovering the secrets of each area, as Xenoblade rewards you for discovering landmarks with EXP, SP, and AP. I was personally amazed by how grand the worlds were. I enjoyed exploring while allowing the game's equally amazing soundtrack to set in. I felt the movement was a bit slow, but the auto-run option made everything a lot more tolerable. There were a few times where I felt cheated by glitchy collisions, but luckily this wasn't a recurring issue. If you're the type of player who loves to take their time, you'll be delighted to hear that the game has an expansive side quest system with over 400 optional missions you can take on depending on where you are in the story. Xenoblade handles the side quest system well in that the ability to fast travel between landmarks eliminates the annoyances of backtracking. The rewards for monster slaying and object collecting quests are obtained as soon as you complete the task, which again prevents backtracking from being a major issue.
Now it's Shulk time.
It is now time to fight. As previously stated, enemies naturally roam the biomes alongside you and you can battle them if you choose to do so. Lock on, unsheath your weapon, and engage the enemy. You'll notice that you have a plethora of skills on the screen called arts. For the sake of the video length, I'll only be discussing a few of Shulk's arts. As you can see, you can freely move around during battle. Positioning is vital because some arts have special effects that only surface when you attack an enemy in a specific area. Backslash will deal double the damage if you use it on an enemy's back, while Slit Edge will lower physical defense if you attack the side of an enemy. A nice strategy you can take up is to use Shadow Eye, which will temporarily boost the power of your physical arts and lower your aggro so the enemy stops attacking you. The enemy might then turn around to target someone else, and then you can unleash a powered up Backslash for a ton of damage. If you want, you can throw in a Slit Edge to lower physical defense and then Backslash for even more damage, but you have to be quick. Additionally, your arts each have a cooldown timer, so it's important that you don't just burn through them all in one shot. There are many different colored arts with varied effects, so you'll need to read the scenario, get into your mechanical rhythm, and use the right arts at the right time to ensure victory. By moving close to the enemy, you'll auto-attack them for standard damage, which is needed to build up your talent arts. Shulk's talent arts make use of the Monado's power, some of which being Monado Speed that boosts the hit and evasion rate of a party member, and Monado Buster, which does double the damage against Mechon. Each character has a talent art unique to themselves, with some being beneficial and others being hindrances. Emphasis on the hindrance parts. Charla? It's encouraged that you learn most, if not all of the characters in order to open yourself up to new strategies, because take it from me, the AI can be really stupid. You build up the party gauge by unleashing arts on the correct body parts of enemies, or by pressing B when a prompt appears. Having 1 bar will allow you to revive a fallen teammate, while having 3 will allow you to perform a chain attack. Using multiple of the same colored art in succession will increase the damage multiplier, so make sure you lay down the pain when the time comes. With high affinity between party members, you have a greater chance of being able to extend these combos with the B button press. You build up affinity by battling together, reviving them, completing quests, doing heart-to-hearts, which are basically support conversations, and giving them gifts of their preference. Lastly, during fights, you may get a vision scene where dangerous future events will play out should you not act. You're given a few seconds to do something, and in that time you can tell a party member to use any of their available arts. Here, Dunban is about to die from an attack, so I cast Monado Speed on him to boost his evasion rate, essentially saving him. Although I do love the vision gimmick because it's appropriate within the context of Xenoblade's story, and it is a unique battle mechanic, but they can be inconsistent. Sometimes I've gotten a vision for a harmless blow, while other times I'd get 0 warning for a move that decimates my entire party. Visions also don't account for area of effect attacks, so you'll get a vision hinting at one party member getting stopped only for this to happen. Even through a few of my issues, I genuinely love the combat because it literally kept me on my feet at all times. I could never be standing still with how fast-paced the fights were, and managing the party's condition while maintaining a strong offense proved to be consistently satisfying. During battle, the party actively communicates with each other, shouts words of encouragement, and let out these battle cries, which really serve to make these battles feel real.
Timing is everything. Remember that. We did it. One. Right. Too quick for me.
Additionally, if you ever find yourself struggling, don't worry, I got you covered. Well, Xenoblade has you covered. There's a toggle for casual mode, which makes the fights a lot easier, just in case you wish to experience Xenoblade more for its narrative and exploration, and less on the challenge of battles. Do you like character customization? Well, Xenoblade has that, and it's cranked up to 100. Equipment diversity in RPGs are a given, but you can accentuate your character through equipping gems that you can craft or obtain via an enemy dropping it. The combat really starts getting fun once you learn how to optimize your character builds. Cosmetic choices are unlocked as you progress, and they're customizable on a different slot than your actual equipment. That means you can keep the effects of your armor while rocking whatever you feel like rocking. Let's go! You can level up your arts with the AP you accrue via defeating enemies, as well as assign different skills to different slots. SP is used to level up the skill trees, which grant passive stat buffs and other beneficial effects. Characters can share each other's buffs given you have enough affinity coins, which are gained by leveling up and defeating unique monsters. Yeah, I'm aware that I dumped a lot of information on you at once, I get that, and I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. All of what I've stated plus more are logged in the multitude of tutorials in the game's menu, so if you do forget anything, you know where to go. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition captivated me at every turn. Within the compelling narrative lies a party of well-developed characters who are connected by their unified desire to make a difference by changing the future. There are an abundance of secrets to uncover, and the greatness that is this game's multi-layered world, a ton of side quests to sink your teeth in, and most importantly, prevalent evils that must be stopped by you and you alone. I grew attached to the battle system as combat felt fluid, intuitive, engaging, and rewarding all at the same time. Additional options for customization was a welcome addition as it added uniqueness to my playthrough in terms of flexibility in character builds and appearances alike. Inconsistent voice acting, glitches in the overworld, and rigid model movement are this game's main flaws, but they aren't enough to exceed the high points of a game I felt had an amazing story, engaging gameplay, and lovable characters. Friendly reminder that there lies a timeline where you didn't experience this gem for yourself, but I'm here to prevent that bleak future. This is my favorite game on the Switch right now, and should you act now, you can change Destiny's course and experience it for yourself. Or not, because you can save or spend your money however you want, you know, it's up to you. I'm just some random guy on the internet ranting about video games, so yeah. Either way, whatever you decide to do, just know that Xenoblade Chronicles is freaking awesome. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for watching. Bye!